Join us on Geek Blood, the show you can't ignore. Ray and Kevin diving deep into all things galore. Comic book, movie, sci-fi, and action thrill. Reviewing new TV shows, we keep it real, real. Reminiscing the attitude era, wrestling at its peak. Nostalgia from the 80s and 90s, memories we seek. Pineapples for our rings, a unique touch. Geek culture in our blood, we love it so much. Geek Blood forever, we love it so much. Geek Blood, where we talk about it all. From superheroes to wrestlers, we stand tall. Ray and Kevin, the dynamic duo in sight. Geek Blood, shining bright, shining bright. Did you hear about Pluto? Let's messed up right. Geek Blood, taking you on a nostalgia flight. From movies to TV, we cover it all. Join us every week, we'll have a ball. Shuffle.
Hey,
Hey, how's it
what's
going?
happening?
Just catching
Good.
up on my Facebook timeline. Uncle Jimmy made a post. I really wish he spoke in the third person. How funny it would be if his Facebook posts were from the third person. Uncle Jimmy's getting upset. Uncle Jimmy can't take it anymore. But anyways, how are you doing today?
Yes, Kevin's Uncle Jimmy, who for some reason I follow on Facebook as well, is very opinionated on the
On
Democrat
everything.
Republican race and everything.
He's, that and the Boston Bruins is all he talks about. It's
Yes,
one or the
yep.
other.
What's he in
But,
his 70s, Kevin? He's going to be in his 70s,
Uncle
right?
Jimmy's
80s?
83. 83. He's older than my
Okay, yeah,
dad, so I
yeah.
think he's 83.
I must have met him at
I hope
one
you meet
point,
the guy.
right?
What's that?
Have I met him at one point at a family get-together when he was up here?
Maybe.
I may have.
Probably my high school graduation.
Yeah,
But
I was there.
that party was probably the only time that I can think of. They would have met him. But he is fucking hilarious. Like, he is one of my favorite people on this planet. He played minor league baseball with Macho Man Randy Savage.
You told me that before.
Fucking lore fact.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
So he's lived a fun life. He's lived an interesting life. He went from there to like working at Polaroid or something like that. Back when you could get a job without
what a life.
college or whatever. Like,
Wow.
Yeah, Uncle Jimmy.
Well,
to you.
Welcome everyone to another episode of Geek Blurb, and we're going to jump right into what we watched this week. And we watched.
Yes, let's start off.
We watched a couple of great things.
Yeah.
And that would be the finale of A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. Show is fantastic. Very quick to get into. 30-minute episodes, 6 episodes total. If you want a quick Game of Thrones tale, as they called it, it's a Game of Thrones tale, completely separate from everything except for the Targaryen part of it. Targaryens are everywhere in this universe.
It's separate from everything, but at the same time, Egg connects literally every morsel of the main story. It all starts with literally this 10-year-old boy and his knight, who's not actually a knight, which is fucking hilarious. But yeah, this show is fantastic. The finale was
very
incredible. I love the fact that
series overall was great.
Oh yeah, because there's no dragons and the technology it takes to like do the CGI, we can get this every single year.
Every year, awesome. This is going to be great. Yep.
And yeah, I hope they do the entire. I mean, you'll have to recast Egg because I think Ira was joking when he said he would take 10 years off between sets.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
But yeah, there's no way, especially with Paramount now, possibly in charge, which we'll get to later. They'll have to just recast him.
Into it.
So yeah, they'll have to recast him. But so far, that scene, top left, where his hair is growing back, you're like, oh shit. And then
in the beginning of the series, you find out he shaved his head to hide himself as a Targaryen. And one of the last scenes of this episode, you see his hair growing back from a bald head, and it is the blonde hair that's most notably known for being a Targaryen descendant line, all the way down from what we've seen so far in House of Dragons and even Game of Thrones. The Khaleesi had it, and her brother.
Also, that's the other thing too about the main Game of Thrones show is Khaleesi grew her hair back. She's still bald in the book at this point.
Okay.
What was I gonna say? But oh yeah, and so one other thing I liked about this is Maker. I think that's his father's name, right? Maker Targaryen.
Yep.
He sees that his son could go one of two ways if he stays within this house. When he sneaks into his brother's room with the knife,
right?
Basically, gonna kill him, and he realizes that the relationship with Dunk might be the thing that saves him from basically turning into an insane Targaryen. That's how I took that scene and what played out. And then, of course, the ending was hilarious when he's like, "Egg? Where's Egg?"
I think it was the only time where his father actually saw Egg for who he really was.
Yes,
and was trying to save and realized he needed to save him.
Yes.
It's a great series. God.
There's a lot about Maker in the books that they left out of the show. Aemon talks about him a lot to Jon Snow. He talks to him a lot about Jon Snow. So yeah.
Show is amazing. Ending was great. Setting up them going to Dorne, I believe, right? And the very last.
So. That's what it sounds like, which would be awesome because they kind of fucked over Dorne in the main show. So I'm interested in that.
Right. Yeah.
Unless they get caught up in some hijinks along the way, which could be season 2.
And Egg has left with Dunk, unbeknownst to his own father, who, like you mentioned, looks at him like the end of Home Alone. At the very end of this show is like, Egg, where is he?
Yep.
So they're going to be hunting down probably where he is. I'm guessing next season, maybe. The last title card of the show, as the show fades to black, is A Knight of the Nine Kingdoms, because there's dialogue of there's not really 7 kingdoms in this world. There's actually 9, which is funny. I never really thought of that. I don't know if anybody else really thought of that either until this moment.
To me, that was, as being like a fan of the lore, to me that was like my Martha moment, where like Superman, Batman's mothers had the same name all those years, but I just never really put it together or like thought of it like that. And then I thought of it in a completely fucking hilarious way with the way it transpired in BBS. But this was much better done. But I had never thought about that. I have a goddamn map of Westeros on my wall, and I never even like thought of that, you know? So yeah, the way I see this show playing out is the next 2 seasons, 2 and 3 are going to be off the 2nd and 3rd novellas. And then I think in the 4th season, when they get their creative to do whatever George wrote for the 4th season, I'm assuming he'll end up either 4th or 5th season maybe back home. And that'll wrap up the young Egg storyline and then skip 10 years the next year, probably. That's just where I see it going. Because eventually Dunk gets all of his training for the most part from the Targaryen family because of his relationship with Egg. Like, he's still untrained. Like, he doesn't know. He's just a big, strong guy that can swing a sword, essentially. He's very much untrained. So it's going to be interesting, and I can't wait for next January, hopefully.
And I can't wait to see him teach the humanity to Egg the Targaryens just couldn't handle. And that's what's going to make him the king that he ends up. Everybody knows he ends up going to be. But the Knight of the Seven Kingdoms was getting an average of 24 million.
It's insane.
Viewers per episode. That's globally. That's throughout the whole entire world. Showrunner for the show says season 2 will keep the same format, 6 episodes. Scale will be the same, if not smaller. I guess Dorne is mostly. I think they said it was mostly.
It's fucking sand. It's a desert.
Desert. So they had to figure out another place other than the outside of Belfast. Cannot wait for that. Cannot wait for this series. Cannot wait for House of Dragon to come back in summer too.
Yeah, me too.
Yep, coming back just a few months. So
although that did push Lanterns, which was revealed today, is that they decided to go with House of the Dragon over Lanterns first. So Lanterns will be starting up probably within a month of that ending, which is awesome. It's gonna be a fun summer.
Same timeline as Peacemaker. I'm guessing probably middle August. So Shrinking episode 5. You have not seen it. Not
Nope.
going to talk anything about it. Great show. Watch it.
It's been
Gonna
incredible
recommend
so
that
far.
every week.
Yep.
Yeah, really good. A premiere. Great season so far of season 2 of Did you ever watch Paradise on
No,
Hulu?
you liked it a
Oh,
lot. This
man.
shot itself looks like it's like a remake of The Last of Us, though. With the way
Yeah.
on the horse.
It's funny you say that. I was going to say that today. Paradise is The Last of Us without zombies. It's basically the world at the end. It was announced this week that season 3 next year or 2 years will be the last season.
Mhm.
And there's a lot of stories still to be told. There's a lot of what happened. Basically, a super volcano went off, and there's kind of a timeline on Earth as far as the scientists. There's one scientist that said, once the volcano comes off, there'll be an ash cloud over the whole world. Once that goes down, global warming will be affected, and eventually that'll create such a big, huge burst of heat that'll kill everybody on Earth. And that's why the dome was built in the mountain. That's why the president and that whole entire like safety world was built under the mountain. And then in this season, Sterling Kane Brown goes out of the mountain to try to find his wife, who survived somewhere on in the United States.
Gotcha.
First episode, you meet Shailene Woodley. I don't know what you've seen her in. She's been in a whole bunch of stuff. She was supposed to be Mary Jane.
Aaron Rodgers'
yep.
girlfriend is the only thing I know her from, and the fact that she was supposed to be Mary Jane.
It's supposed to be Mary Jane, and she actually filmed scenes for The Amazing Spider-Man with Andrew Garfield. They cut it. She shows up in the first episode. The episode is called Graceland. She becomes a guide at Graceland, the Elvis Presley Museum, and she's there during the apocalypse. When the apocalypse first happens, and she locks herself in there, bunkers herself down during this timeline of everything going on in season 1 of Paradise. And she's living off of whatever's in Graceland, all the food, rations, whatever, living in the basement. And she's there by herself pretty much. She meets a couple of people, and then the story evolves from there. So far, the season's been really good. Sucks that we're only getting 3 seasons, but there's really not much more. If there's already a kind of a timeline set of where this could end, if the world is going to be an oven eventually, and then there definitely needs to be an ending set. So I'm glad they actually have that. So they don't keep going and going and going with it.
That's a problem that a lot of people have, or a lot of shows have eventually. Is like Lost is obviously the prime example of this. But they don't think about how they're going to wrap it up after introducing certain questions and whatnot. So they probably had the success of the first season, and they said, okay, and they just outlined until they were like, okay, this is probably this is our end game. And they probably figured that 3 seasons would be the best way to present it, quality, quantity wise.
Yep, for sure. Highly recommend it. Highly recommend it to you, Kevin. I know you probably haven't seen. I don't think you watched any of season 1. Did you? I know I recommended it to you a few times, but very good. It's on Hulu, Disney Plus if you have it. Another thing, I was on Hulu before this came out, and first of all, talk about this. I forgot I had this on here. The Fall and Rise of Reggie Dinkins. This is Tracy Morgan, Daniel Radcliffe. It's very funny, very much like The Office. I think it's done by the same creators.
30 Rock,
30 Rock. It's very funny, and I could tell once they get their footing, this show could be really good. Tracy Morgan is definitely got that type of comedy. You got to really like it. That weird type of comedy.
That's what I don't like Tracy Morgan, so I'm probably not going to.
I don't think you do.
But talented guy. He almost died in a car accident or something.
He did.
Didn't he? Okay.
Yeah, and he's a millionaire because of that.
Yeah.
He sued Walmart. It was a Walmart truck. He ended up getting money
That's
from
right.
Walmart.
Yeah.
Yep. Good show. This is on Peacock NBC. It's a good show, worth watching if you just want a mindless 20-minute episode a week to watch. This is what I was trying to get to when I was waiting for Paradise to come on. I saw this documentary pop up on my feed. American Godfathers: The 5 Families. I'm so encapsulated by mobsters and the history of the mob and how that all started and where the mob is today and what happened to. We all know the 5 families. We know where how that kind of developed into the Sopranos, and of course the Godfather and Goodfellas, all kind of interconnected to that story, the story of New York in general. This documentary, 3 episodes, tackles, I think it came out in 2024, tackles from the very beginning of like Lucky Luciano in the 1930s all the way up to John Gotti in the 80s when he got arrested. Tackles the whole entire history of the five families and how they were in prosperity, how they were going through government. They were getting harassed by the government up into the 50s with being questioned about the mob families and everything, all the way up until the takedown and everything that happened in the 80s, and everything in between. It's very good. 3 episodes on Hulu, Disney Plus as well. I think it'd have Hulu. Yeah, very good. And I wanted to mention that. I don't know if I forgot to mention I was going to watch this. I did finish it.
Mm-hmm.
Kill Bill, The Whole Bloody Affair. Did you finish it?
It's very good.
You did finish? Okay, I finished it too. First time I've seen Kill Bill since I watched Volume 1 and Volume 2 20 years ago when that came out.
Tell the difference, like if they added stuff or took stuff away, because like I've seen it once, I think 20 years ago or whatever.
Yep. The only thing I know that they added in was the animated scene in the beginning.
Yes, yeah,
and that was the only that scene was the only thing. It was a deleted scene. I think they went back and added in, which worked. It worked in this story just because I will say Tarantino's love for cinema in general. You see that in every single film he makes, but this is a love story to Japan in general.
Oh yeah,
and the way that he does this is kind of stunning. It's actually incredible. A lot of the storytelling effects, a lot of the actors he brings in are Japanese actors from old, like Sonny Chiba, a lot of actors from back in the day who were in those old kung fu movies. In fact, this movie's so kung fu, he brought in RZA to do the soundtrack. So of course, Wu-Tang, but this is a great combined story of Volume 1 and Volume 2 with a little bit more with that animated sequence. About 4 hours long. It was very, very good. And I never remembered how great any of the acting was. I never remembered how great the movie was in general. And it definitely is up higher in my list now. The Tarantino films, I think I've seen every single one of them. Yeah.
I remember liking it, but not like it wasn't upper echelon Tarantino. Now it's probably around middle of the pack for me.
Yeah, I think so too for me. Yeah, maybe a little bit lower than.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of like my Tarantino rankings. I should do that in Letterboxd next.
Let's do that sometime.
But yeah, we'll do.
Yeah, me too.
Films,
let's do that sometime because there's some heavy hitters, top movies of all time in his catalog. So, and Kevin saw a movie. I did not see this because number one, Scream has disappointed me so many times in the past. And I told you before, I only really love the first one. It's not even a like situation. I love the first movie. That movie
the first two are pretty much on par with each other for me. And I like the fourth a lot.
First one's perfect. Yeah, first one's perfect.
First one's like the perfect horror movie for when it came out at the time.
Slasher. It's like slasher. The quintessential slasher movie. Third one turned me off from this franchise completely, and I still have not forgiven that movie.
The third one so much.
Right. And that's why every single movie that's come out since then, I'm not really a huge fan of this franchise. You are. So you went and watched Scream 7 last night. I'm hearing a lot of mixed things. Are your ideas of this movie mixed as well?
2 out of 5. 2 out of 5.
Okay.
Did you see my Letterboxd review?
That's what I was afraid of. I haven't seen anything. No.
See, the last one that came out was like, for the first 2 acts, I'd say, I was very high on it, and the third act just flopped hard for me.
Yeah, that's what
this one. There's a lot of writing choices I just don't understand. My big thing with this movie is, okay, so you're Sidney Prescott, who's 46 or whatever in this movie, right? And you've literally been chased by a serial killer and serial killer impersonator since you were 16 years old.
Right.
And now you have a 16-year-old daughter. And that daughter doesn't know how to even hold a gun or where safety is located on a gun. Like,
she hasn't been trained.
This chick should be John Connor, honestly. Like, there's a scene where Ghostface is chasing her. Okay, first of all, I'm not going to get into spoilers about the twists or who the killers are, because that is the dumbest fucking thing I've ever seen in any of these movies, and that's saying a lot, considering I've seen Scream 6 and 3. But there's a scene where she finally gives Gale the interview that Gale's been after since the end of the first movie.
Right, yeah.
To lure Ghostface out. Well, Ghostface then like calls her or whatever, and he's like at this bar called Parker's Place where Tatum, her daughter, and like all of her friends are like trying to figure shit out and who could be the killer, blah, blah, blah. So anyways, a little chase happens, blah, blah, blah. She ends up at her mother's work. Her mother runs a coffee shop at this point. Locks herself in there, goes into the back. Her mother leaves the interview and is locked out of the van. So she starts running like 5 miles to where the coffee shop is. Like, shouldn't she go like into the goddamn place and get the keys of the van and maybe Gale and be like, hey, let's go do this. Go help my daughter together. Anyways, so she's on the feed for the security camera. And she's like, there's a gun in the office, blah, blah, blah. So the girl gets the gun. And then she has to explain to her about how the gun is loaded and how to take the safety off and how to shoot the gun. If I'm Sydney and I have a daughter, by the age of 5, that chick's taking jujitsu. By the age of 10, she's getting gun training. I don't care. Like,
it's the old Terminator. Like,
yeah, like her father's a cop and has one gun in the house, which I completely forgot that Joel McHale apparently is married to Sidney Prescott. So seeing Joel McHale is fucking hilarious. But bro has one gun in the house. He's married to somebody who's been chased by serial killers her entire life. They have a safety room that has an exit, but the exit is like between walls of the house. So you can hear them moving throughout the house.
Oh, I've seen that in the trailer, yeah.
I didn't see any of the trailers. Like, I think I watched like the first like 10 seconds of the first trailer that came out. And I heard the trailer actually spoils like every kill in the movie. Now,
oh really?
The kills were cool. I did like some of the kills. Did not care for any of the children. I still think Cuba Gooding Jr.'s son, I think it's his son right now, his nephew.
Oh yeah, he's
Cuba Gooding Jr.'s son is pretty awesome. I like him a lot in these new movies, even though he should have been dead in the 6th one, because bro got stabbed 150 fucking times.
That's right.
So yeah,
I have a question. Number one, this movie has been touted as having the return of all these actors from the past. Did they, without giving any spoilers, did they play into that at all? Or is that all a marketing ploy?
Yeah. That's yep, they certainly do have homage to the older killers of the movies, just like they did with Skeet Ulrich. He's not in this one.
And he's not in this one.
No.
Wow. He's like the only one I wanted to see.
I think because of the connection of Melissa not being in this one.
Oh yeah.
I think that was why.
Which is
because he used him for the last
dumb.
2. Yeah. That whole thing was dumb. But it got Sydney back, so I thought Melissa was the weakest part acting wise and story wise of the last 2 anyways. So I was like, whatever.
Yeah.
I thought she got out acted in every scene she was in. I'm way more upset about Jenna Ortega not being in it because she's actually good in those movies. But without Melissa, we don't have a reason for Jenna to be involved. So
not only that, Jenna Ortega is gigantic now as a star.
Oh,
so she'd pick her roles. This franchise may not be the one she wants to pick.
Well, she's contracted to do Wednesday for however many seasons they go. So that's why TV contracts always are real movie contracts anyways. So
yeah.
But it is what it is. 2 out of 5.
2 out of 5. Wow.
Better than 3, probably on par with 6.
Okay. Yeah, 6 wasn't good.
I'd say
5 was good. 5 was good. 5 was good. I remember that.
5.
Yeah.
5 was good. 6 was really good until a certain point.
Yeah, 6 didn't have Sydney though, so who gives a fuck about 6? 6 was horrible.
5 should have been the one that they introduced the 3 killers in, and they did that for 6 for some reason. But whatever.
If Sydney ever dies, this franchise needs to die with her. Do you agree with that statement? Okay.
Like if the actress dies,
no, I'm talking about the character in the show.
If they kill Sydney
in the movie, yeah.
I don't think they would ever kill Sydney, but I think that this series needs to get see what happened with 5 is it got a new face, it got new writers, new everything. This was written and directed by Kevin Williamson, who wrote the first 2, got thrown off of 3. 3 was all fucked up because of Columbine 2, and they didn't want to have a lot of like gruesome kills.
That's right.
And then he came back for 4. I don't think he wrote 5 though. But yeah, 5 had like the new writers, new directors, like
All the kids. That's when all the
Vision,
kids came in
new
too,
kids.
right? Yeah.
Sydney became a legacy character, which I liked. You didn't need the story to revolve around her anymore. And then they had to make it revolve around her because of everything that happened after Scream 6. Yeah. But R.I.P.
Okay.
R.I.P. this franchise. Let's move on.
It died a long time ago, in my opinion. But yeah, let's move on. Let's get into the news. And it's not news time without the trailer roundup. Remember today, brand new trailer for a movie called Backrooms. No idea what this is all about. It's an A24 movie, comes out the end of May. I don't know if you even heard of it or what it is. It's sort of a horror movie. No idea what it is. Trailer did not give anything away.
Correct.
But did want to mention it. Looked weird. Brand new trailer for Mortal Kombat 2. Everything I've seen for this movie makes me want to see it even more. Comes out May 8th, just a couple of months from now. Cannot wait. I'm glad they got Carl Urban to play Johnny Cage because
interesting choice.
He's going to be
like
number one. Interesting choice, yeah. And I think there's going to be a lot of deaths in this of the characters we started to like in the first movie. I think they're in the beginning we're going to see some deaths of those characters.
Hopefully Cole Young dies real quick because they had the chance to create their own Mortal Kombat character and they picked the lamest moveset and fatalities of all time. Like they could have done anything with that character, and he was lame as fuck.
Yep. And something that I hope you saw.
Yes, I did. You'll love
it. It debuted in front of Scream. I've already seen it.
Okay, I didn't know if it leaked or
I saw the leak.
Okay.
Yeah, I did leak last night, right during the premiere. But Scary Movie 6, it's on there. Cam footage is out. It's coming out Monday. But there's cam footage of it. It was shown before Scream 7.
Yeah.
If you love that type of humor, raunchy, unadulterated humor, done by the Wayans brothers, coming back to the series again.
Doesn't look like they held back at all, which
it doesn't look like they held back at all,
movies, but I do like the fact they weren't scared in this era to not hold back. We need that in comedy more often than not these days. So yeah,
I love the first.
I'll probably watch it because this is all like the new horror movies that it's spoofing that I don't have as much
all the ones we love, like
Scream.
Yeah.
I like the first one and the second one.
Yep, same.
I don't think I cared for 3, 4, 5.
It's when the Wayans brothers left, or the Wayans family left completely.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
That's when I stopped liking the franchise too. And then they brought in, I think they brought Charlie Sheen in for like 3 on.
That's right. Okay.
Yep. But yeah, the Wayans brothers are back. The 2 Wayans brothers, Sean and Marlon, are back for this one. And telling the story. This poster's not official, by the way. It's Boss Logic, but I thought it was really cool. Cannot wait. Oh,
what is that noise?
Washing machine's going.
Oh,
my washing machine. What the fuck was that? It's that's the problems of having your podcast studio in your laundry room. Rest in peace to Robert Carradine. I don't know if you know the name necessarily, but you definitely know him as an actor from the 80s. It depends on when you grew up, really.
Yeah.
He's either most notably known to you because you grew up in the 80s and 90s and you know him from Revenge of the Nerds, which was a big, huge franchise, of course. And he played the lead of that. I love that movie. One of my top comedies of all time. Love that movie. Or if you grew up in the early 2000s, you know him from Lizzie McGuire, where he was in 3 seasons playing the father. And that show was gigantic back then.
It really was huge. Yeah.
So a lot of kids nowadays who are in their 20s, 30s know him from that, grew up with that. But took his own life. He was bipolar, succumbed to that this week. He was typecast as a nerd his whole entire life. His brother was David Carradine. Speaking of Kill Bill. He was Bill in Kill Bill, also killed himself by auto asphyxiation, whatever that's called.
Autoerotic asphyxiation, which Vince Masuka is an expert in. Good old Vince Masuka.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
that's one of my favorite scenes in Dexter.
From Dexter.
Is when he's explaining it, but they don't actually show him explaining it. They just show him like in slow motion, like doing the.
That's right.
The motions.
I forgot about
Fuck,
that.
I love that scene.
Well, rest in peace to Robert Carradine. He's a
Yes.
very funny guy. Him and Booger got together like 10 years ago and started doing stuff promoting.
Yep.
I think it was a reality show they had together, which was pretty funny. He was a great guy from all accounts. He was very humble, very everybody loved him and just his energy. But mental health can really take you down. Yeah, rest in peace to him. And breaking news yesterday. Warner Brothers Discovery.
I got out of Scream, very upset, very disappointed, and this is the alert I got on my phone.
Was it from me? Because I text you, fuck.
No, actually, I saw yours when I got home. It was just an update from Twitter. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention this. Scream was packed, and it was nice to watch that type of movie with a packed house.
Oh yeah, I can see that.
It was fun.
We're all fans of that.
Yeah,
exactly.
exactly.
Fan event,
I went
right?
to the fan event, so there was no trailers either. It like the movie started it was a 6 o'clock showing. It started at 6:06. Like they did the little like roller coaster deal, buy some Pepsi and some candy, the dancing candies, and they went right into the movie. So, but really yes, cool. I got out and this is what I saw on my phone.
The week started off. Skydance Paramount filed what is believed a sweetened bid higher than what Netflix was. Went to the board directly, like we mentioned. They were trying to do a coup de grace, and the amount ended up being so much. The new offer, Warner Brothers declared it superior offer and gave Paramount 4 days. Gave Netflix 4 days to match the offer, and they decided not to, and they bowed out. And Netflix decided last night made a thing that came out saying Ted Sarandos basically saying, this is no longer financially attractive to us. And we'll get into the specifics in a minute, but it's pretty nuts. This is one of the craziest stories in media history ever that happened. But the statement by Ted Sarandos, the transaction we negotiated would have created shareholder value and a clear path to regulatory approval. Number one, that was the biggest fear of this deal. Everybody was against Netflix owning Warner Brothers. I don't think that would have ever passed, but I don't think Paramount has an easier ride to get through regulations.
It's going to be interesting
by any stretch.
And honestly, did you hear about the leaked audio of David Zaslav?
Yeah, we'll get into it in a minute. I have it all. I have a timeline here, so longer. I won't get into the rest of it. But with this being said, this did something to Netflix. Number one, they're going to be getting money from this. They're going to be getting, I think, like $2.5 billion for breaking the deal.
Yeah, which is why they let
Netflix
Paramount
is getting paid.
Talk to them. Yeah, Netflix is getting a free $5 billion just for entertaining the idea of owning Warner Brothers. How insane!
Not only that, but after this news broke, Warner Brothers Discovery stock went down 2.7%. Paramount's went up 7.2%.
Yep.
Netflix stock went up 12% last night. So they made money there. That's where they got their money last night.
Yep.
This deal is already lucrative to them, and they lost it. But the original offer, Netflix offered $82.7 million, and that did not include Discovery. Remember, that stuff was all going to be separated. TNT, that was all going to be sold off separate. And Paramount, the initial idea was that we're going to take everything. We'll offer you more shares. We'll give you $108 billion, which is over $25 billion more of what Netflix offered. We'll give you that much more. And actually up that amount to $111 billion later on in the week. But we'll take everything. Not only do they want Warner Brothers, but they want Discovery. So they're getting everything with this deal. They don't have to separate the company at all. And that's the big thing with Paramount that was going to be the case. And the problem I've had with this all along was the regulatory stuff, as far as how is this going to pass, and are they going to be getting a free ride just because of the pockets being laced or the pockets being greased?
Right.
On that side, and that worries me. If this passes by the end of the year, that would be the biggest fear, because that would be almost like a government paid pocket. I don't like that idea. But Paramount Skydance, what they're going to own Number one, they already own Paramount, CBS, Viacom, which is MTV, Comedy Central. They own the Paramount Plus app. They own Showtime, Pluto TV, which is another streaming service, and Skydance, which is more of a UK thing. It's also a movie studio. But when they own Warner Brothers, they're going to own the studio, New Line, DC Studios, of course, Discovery, Turner Classic Movies, Turner in general. HBO Max is a big app. They're going to end up. They always said that the biggest goal of this is to combine the Paramount Plus app and the HBO Max app into one huge consumer app. That was their big plan all along. That's right down the middle. They told that from the very beginning. So that's what's going to end eventually happening. But they're also more lucrative to the movie theaters. They're saying we're going to keep the movies alive in theaters. We're going to keep physical media alive as well, which Netflix was like, no. Streaming, physical media probably would have died.
Right.
It already is dead, but it's coming back in little ways here and there. But the whole entire what they're going to own, some franchises, Harry Potter, Mad Max, Conjuring, Matrix, the It franchise, Lord of the Rings, Gremlins, Game of Thrones, Joker, Dexter, all of this stuff combined into one company, not to mention the DC stuff, the Ninja Turtles, Star Trek, so much shit, so much stuff. This is going to be gigantic. And you look at Paramount; overall they have a lot of stuff, but they don't have a giant IP history like Warner Brothers does. They have movies, but they don't have what this is going to create. Is going to be incredible.
Mm-hmm.
It would have been incredible for Netflix, but Netflix is kind of starting from the beginning. This is going to be combining to make a super huge like company. So I'm not mad at it. I don't like the idea that are we being fucked with? Is the consumer being fucked with? So we know the board members aren't they're being paid.
Mm-hmm.
But was consumer being fucked with this whole time? And that's kind of I guess how a lot of people are seeing this. Yeah, who knows? I'm sure the streaming service combined will be over $30 5 years from now, whenever that does, or 3 years, whenever that does come out. But we'll have to wait and see. I mean, this is one of those things, and like you mentioned through text to me last night, this is not done until the deal is official. I think March 20th was the deadline for Netflix. I'm not sure if that's the same with this one or not, but this deal still has to be finalized with the board. And they could decide, like the swerve of the century, saying, yeah, we still don't like the idea of Paramount. We don't like the baggage. Let's stick with Netflix. Which I don't think will happen, but there could be a swerve here. There's so many swerves.
It sounds like, from everything I've seen, it sounds like David got overruled by the board, and he wanted to go with Netflix. So I think he felt like Netflix was a more secure deal, which is why he's basically like, well, if it doesn't close, we'll just go on business as usual. Like, it sounds like he's okay with just keeping Warner Brothers if this doesn't go through. But so much has to happen. They could still go with Netflix. Netflix just won't raise their offer. So I think the meeting with shareholders is in like March when they're going to discuss it. So we'll see.
I did have that Zazoff quote in here, but for some reason, maybe I didn't add it in, but I did have it the exact quote. But he did say something today. It's a leaked
audio
memo that came out.
Memo, yeah.
And he said something to the effect of, if it hasn't happened, it doesn't happen. We'll be just back to work the next day.
Right.
Doesn't really give a shit about the deal. Nobody does. They're just trying to move around money at this point.
I mean, for people shame Zaslav for what he did, but he basically did what he needed to do. Like, AT&T bought Warner Brothers in 2018 for $80 billion. Almost bankrupted the company. Zaslav came in. He made some crude business decisions, like, no doubt. But he also turned that $40 billion investment into a $60-ish billion profit now.
At the time.
Right now or whatever. Which is kind of insane to do in like 4 years. But he did. And
look, a key to that was streaming, the streaming revolution that happened too. That's a huge key part of that. But yeah, we'll keep an eye on this, continue to, but Netflix is officially bowed out. They don't want any part of the shenanigans that happened, and they're getting paid for it. So benefited them not only monetarily through this fee that they're getting, but through the stock market. So We'll get into this. I'm sure this is going to take a while to pass, but we'll get into it later.
We'll be talking about this all summer.
We talked about Ronda Rousey and Gina Carano coming back for a MMA fight. Floyd Mayweather coming in Netflix in September against Manny Pacquiao. Don't know anything about either one of them, but they're going to be at the Sphere.
Yeah.
September 19th on Netflix. Is this done by Jake Paul's company as well?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I know Netflix is doing a lot of this stuff. So
yeah, I have no idea if it's Jake Paul's company or not. But yeah, it'll be fun to watch it in the Sphere though. Metallica announced they're doing that show in the Sphere, and I'm like, if only I had the money.
I have it in the news. Funko made a deal. They're going to be doing TV shows, movies, animated projects coming out sometime soon. But they announced that they teamed up with AI creation company Spuri, so they're going to take their Funko Pops and use AI to make movies. How's that sound?
I mean, I'm surprised this idea wasn't brought forth about 10 years ago without the AI. Like, I'm surprised this idea wasn't floated around. But no thanks. Fuck off.
Yeah, AI. Yeah, fuck that. Rock and Roll Hall of Fame for 2026 nominees came out this week. The Black Crowes, Jeff Buckley, Mariah Carey, Phil Collins. I think
how is he not in the Hall of Fame? That's my question.
I think Genesis may already be.
Genesis is, and his partner from Peter Gabriel is in the Hall of Fame.
Peter Gabriel, yep.
In 2014. It's taken 12 years to nominate Phil Collins. Come on now. Crazy.
Yeah, I know. Melissa Etheridge, Lauryn Hill, who had one great album, but her time in the Fugees I thought was always better.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Billy Idol, INXS, Iron Maiden. I'm surprised Iron Maiden had not been in here before then.
Yeah.
Joy Division, New Order, New Edition, Oasis. They were nominated last year, did not get in. Pink, first time nominee. Sade, who had some songs in the late 80s.
Yep.
Shakira, Luther Vandross, another one I'm surprised was not in. And motherfucking Wu-Tang Clan, they'll be in.
I hope they get in.
They'll be headlining it. Nominees. This comes out usually in November, so we'll get the final list in a few months of the final inductees, and we'll talk about it then. And like you mentioned, Metallica are going to the Sphere in a residency for their no repeat weekends in the whole month of October, every single weekend of October. I've already signed up for every sweepstakes I can for 2 tickets to this thing. I want to see it so bad, it's definitely number one.
Pretty sure
priced out of our range.
yeah,
he'll go.
He has the money
it's
for it. We don't.
Four weekends, starting October 1st to the end of the month. And it's the no repeat weekend. They were doing that tour for 2 years, where they would play two different sets, 2 nights in a row. It was one night they took a night off and they come back the night after. And it's going to be a continuation of that. And no songs repeated. Awesome. They play Orion, which they don't usually do until they have a format like this, which is awesome. It's going to be each Thursday and each Saturday throughout the course of October through this limited residency. I want to see the Sphere. I'd love to, but number one, traveling out there is impossible, money-wise, and just money-wise with the ticket itself and going to see that is going to be impossible. They went on sale today. I'm not sure if they sold out or not, but definitely a dream to go that if I could.
Yep.
I've talked a lot about SCTV recently. There's just been a lot of documentaries. John Candy one, we just recently talked about it, but not her. But Second City, there's going to be coming on Prime Video March 3rd, next week. The whole entire Second City TV series is going to be on there for the first time. That's awesome. I'm probably going to watch some of that. I may talk about it. Winona Ryder has joined Wednesday season 3, reuniting with Tim Burton and Jenna Ortega. Want to mention that. Samuel L. Jackson's Tulsa King spinoff was going to be named Nola King, officially renamed the Frisco King. Production is starting soon. He showed up in the last couple episodes of the last season of Tulsa King. Taylor Sheridan is writing all 8 episodes. So, yeah.
Jesus, that man is a goddamn machine. Taylor Sheridan. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, Taylor Sheridan, and he's moving to Paramount, right? Or no, he's moving to
Peacock.
Where's he moving?
Peacock.
Yep, Peacock. Universal.
But not for 5 years, 4 years.
The X-Files reboot done by Ryan Coogler, officially going to Hulu. And they cast the star of that, Danielle Dyweiler. I've
Nice.
seen her in something. I just can't picture what I've seen her in. I can't
Yeah,
think of it right now,
same.
but that's her right there. Yep. And we got the first look of God of War Prime Video's video game adaptation came out today. First look at Kratos and Atreus. Never played the game, so I don't know anything about it. But that's the guy from The Walking Dead there.
And Sons of Anarchy. Still the death in TV shows that like makes me like get shivers. It's brutal.
Okay. And speaking of that show, Ed Screen, Francis, who was Francis in Deadpool, has joined the cast.
Yes.
So cannot wait to see how this series goes. I know nothing about the games other than the gods. That's all I really know. Brand new character posters for Stranger Things Tales from '85, the animated series coming out April 23rd. Wanted to mention that. Ted Lasso Season 4 expected to release in August. Speaking of Ted, different Ted, coming out next week. We'll talk about it next week. Ted Season 2 promo poster for a party that they're having next week when the whole series drops. Cannot wait for Season 2 of this. Love the first season.
Is it all
dropping
the same day, or is it weekly?
That I haven't looked up. I have not.
I can't remember.
Up, but the first season
I can't remember what the first did. It did. Okay, that was all at once.
The first one did. Yeah. So it may follow that format, but Tom Hanks in a dream role. He said he's wanted to play Abraham Lincoln forever. Well, he's going to in a adaptation of a book. I have no idea. Lincoln in the Bardo. It's going to be centered on Lincoln's relationship with his recently deceased 11-year-old son, and he's going to be playing Abraham Lincoln for an adaptation of that book that everybody seems to love. So we'll have to wait and see.
I think Abraham Lincoln has got to be a very tough role to do, considering there is like no audio of him even talking. Like there's like no which is why Daniel Day-Lewis he took it on. I'm like, okay, perfect. So it'll be interesting. I love Tom Hanks. So
Daniel Day. If I remember correctly, Daniel Day studied that role. He went back and read what his voice sounded like, what people actually heard him. They wrote how his voice sounded, and he didn't really have a strong voice. It was not a weak voice either, but it wasn't like a deep voice,
right?
And that's where Daniel Day kind of lowered himself down, and people kind of complained about that a little bit, but that was never what Lincoln really was. We'll have to wait and see how that movie turns out. Marvel's Wolverine game officially launching September 15th of 2026. Cannot wait. Hope we get a new trailer soon. And let's talk about some swag.
Swag. Stuff we all get.
Come on, son. You know that's right.
Got some pop figures, Superman and Batman. Kind of look awesome here. And we also have released today and yesterday Dark Knight Returns #1 Superman from that comic book from the 80s. Superman looks awesome, and of course Batman from the aged grizzled Batman, which was of course the basis of Batman v Superman for Zack Snyder. A lot of people love that comic book. Kevin Smith highly praises that comic book. You and I are kind of meh with it. And yesterday, the video game for Batman, the new Lego one coming out in May. They recreated the museum scene from Batman 1989 in a shot-for-shot remake with a Party Man from Prince playing. It was awesome. Go and watch that if you haven't seen it. It looked really, really cool. Comic news from Marvel. They're bringing back What If for their 50th anniversary. Some of the stories they're going to tell. What if Cyclops stayed with Madeline Pryor? What if Thor got Spider-Man's symbiote suit? What if the Ultimate Universe survived Secret Wars? What if Kraven survived his last hunt? What if Captain America was unfrozen in 2099? That's an interesting story. So What If coming back for an anniversary? That's cool. And video games. First trailer for Marvel Maximum Collection. 13 classic arcade games in the Marvel. These are all 90s games I remember playing in the pizza parlors back then. X-Men, the arcade game. Spider-Man, X-Men Arcade's Revenge. Captain America and the Avengers. Spider-Man, Venom, Maximum Carnage, and Separation Anxiety, just to name a few. Comes out on consoles, PC. It's going to be on the Switch. Cannot wait. Love that. The only arcade game that I really want, I want to get the Simpsons arcade game. I want them to re-release that.
That'd be cool.
That and the my other favorite arcade game back then was the Terminator arcade game with the gun. That was really cool. I wish they'd bring that in to consoles. But Sony is going to reboot the Spider-Man spin-off franchise after Kraven the Hunter kind of flopped.
Man, oh man.
Yeah.
Kind of flopped.
Yeah, it flopped. Just flopped. Kaput. Yeah.
They got trolled into re-releasing it in theaters.
They did. Yeah. Tim Rothman, who runs Sony, said his relationship with Marvel Studios is a true win-win deal. It's been one of the great deals for both companies ever. They're talking a lot about that this week. Speaking of Disney staffers were concerned about the Super Bowl spot for The Mandalorian and Grogu, and that it failed to spark excitement. They released a trailer not too long after that, but they're very high on the Starfighter movie with Sean Levy and Ryan Gosling, saying it's awesome, saying his performance is awesome, and suggests Levy has recaptured the franchise spirit, which has been lost for a few years now. So
Ryan Gosling's a really good actor. I don't know why people give him shit, but he's like a really good actor. Like, especially like look at like what everyone's saying about the Mars movie or whatever's coming out soon. Like, he's a really good actor. So I don't know why people would be surprised about that, but I'm looking forward to Starfighter a lot. Way more than Mandalorian.
Me too.
But
me too. Yeah, definitely higher on my radar.
Yes.
And finally, in news, same article, Disney execs are reportedly very pleased with Avengers Doomsday. Sources say the film division doesn't believe the health of the MCU hinges on a single title. I think it does in this movie in particular, just because of the past couple of years. So that's a whole other argument.
I mean, the problem with this movie is it's going to cost them a lot of money unless everyone's getting back end. And if they get back end, then it's going to cost them a lot of money paying off the back end.
We'll get into that in a minute. We'll get into a big portion of that money that's not going to be coming back. But also the rival studio heads are also privately predict that Doomsday is going to be the biggest film of the year.
Oh yeah,
gonna have a problem with this not opening with IMAX. And was it Spider-Man Brand New Day is not opening IMAX either. They're going to be sitting out, which is a huge monetary loss.
Same with
because IMAX is double
Clayface. Clayface is
yeah,
also not doing IMAX. But yeah, it's like $30 a ticket. So yeah,
I'm excited to see where Marvel goes. Excited to see anything comic book at this moment. Everybody's talk shit about Marvel. So that's it for our show this week. We'll talk to you next week. Next week's the beginning of the month. We'll have a show and tell. Tomorrow night, the Elimination Chamber. We're going to give some reactions to that. Danhausen's probably going to debut. We'll talk.
Is that at a normal time?
Man on the Run. Can you hear me? Yeah, my Wi-Fi went out.
Okay.
Man on the Run, the Paul McCartney documentary came out today on Prime. Going to watch that, talk about it. Ted season 2 comes out on Thursday. We'll talk about that.
I'll be traveling the entire day. Damn it.
Are you leaving Thursday?
I'm leaving Thursday.
I wasn't sure when you were leaving.
Go and see Mark and Shayna. I just texted them actually right before we went on because I'm like, I'll be seeing you guys in like less than a week. Like I just saw you like 2 weeks ago. I can't believe it's already time for leaving Florida.
The Bride comes out next Friday. We may talk about that when it comes out digitally. I'll also come out next Friday on Netflix. This is with Alan Richardson from Reacher, a movie called War Machine on Netflix. I remember the trailer looked really good. It comes out next Friday. Next month on the 18th, Invincible Season 4. I don't watch that, but I know you do. I may get into that. We'll see. 20th, the Red Hot Chili Peppers documentary comes out on Netflix. Also, Peaky Blinders, The Immortal Man, and Project Hail Mary comes out that day. On the 24th, Daredevil Born Again Season 2 comes out. Cannot wait for that. And on the 27th, 007 First Light, the video game, comes out.
That comes out in May.
Excited to get some first impressions. Oh, did it get delayed? I thought it was. I thought it was March.
I think it's May 27th, not March. I think.
Okay, strike that. Reverse it. We won't be talking about that. But the last thing we'll be talking about is Daredevil Born Again. Thank you, everybody, and we'll talk to you next time. Peace.
We're the Geek Blurb crew, here to enlighten you. Talking all things geeky, from movies to wrestling to our podcast is the place where you wanna be for all the latest news and nostalgia from the 80s and 90s. We review comic book flicks and sci-fi hits, riding the wave of action movies with all the cool bits. From Iron Man to Star Wars, we cover it all. And when it comes to wrestling, we never drop the ball. Geek Blurb, we're the kings of the nerds, rating movies and pineapples, our opinions never blurred. Join us each week for a geeky chat with the latest news and a dose of nostalgia that. So if you're a fan of the comic book craze, or a lover of sci-fi